The Burning Legion has returned. An infinite army of demons and corrupted life, hell-bent on nothing less than the destruction of the universe. Our best hope of victory, ending the invasion before it has a chance to begin.
When this is over, we'll all have a drink at the inn. I'm buying.
Never seen you buy anything for anyone. I thought you were cheap. What happened to you, Francis?
Perhaps you finally taught me a thing or two about generosity.
I've learned a lot from you these last few years. About time I taught you something in return.
Whatever skills I've taught you, Emeric, you'd best prepare to use them. The shore is closing in.
Fight to the end. We die if we must.
This is not how it's supposed to go.
What happened here?
It happened in seconds! We were fighting our way up the shore, and then boom! Explosions of fell energy all around us! And these buildings just grew up out of them, filled with demons! I don't know how we're going to be able to push them back at this rate!
One demon at a time. With me, Alliance! Leave nothing standing!
Keep your eyes open for survivors. Save as many as you can.
Eydren! What are you doing with my hammer?
I found it. It's mine now.
It's mine. Give it back.
You're in a cage.
I know. Let me out.
All right. Let's see.
I don't know what you did, but it worked.
It's been too long, old friend.
They're retreating! I get the feeling this fight isn't over yet.
Varian, I found him! Look, across the chasm! Tyrion!
All forces, to Jaina! Tyrion!
Gul'dan, you will pay for this!
Stay back! It's a trap! The light will protect me! You fool! You stand before the temple of a god! Your pitiful light cannot reach you here. How fortunate that your friends have arrived just in time to watch you die. Destroy him! The light will... Adrien! All you have worked for, all you have sacrificed, just to see your champions fall to ash. One by one. Destroy them! You will know fear! Brace yourselves, Alliance! It's coming this way! He's heading your way, Windrunner!
Let's go, Horde! It's time to show the Alliance how we slay demons!
Beasts from the Fellfire emerge! Be careful!
Fight on for the Crusaders still standing.
All yours, Alliance.
We've got him this time. All forces, concentrate your fire! You've got another shot at the kill, Sylvanas.
Consider your job done, then. Rin.
The bigger they are.
No time to gloat, Rin. We've got to stop Gul'dan before he summons another one of those things.
Everyone, across the chasm!
We'll take the ridge and cover your flank.
Sylvanas, thank you.
Good luck, Varian.
And you. There is nowhere to run, Gul'dan. Give up now, and I will grant you a swift death.
Run. You are right, human. There is nowhere to run from my master. Now, witness the true might of Lord Sargeras!
Hold steady. We've broken their lines before. We will again. Charge! We will never fall to you, Gul'dan. The combined forces of Azeroth will triumph today!
Less chatting, Rin! Kill him already!
I have seen the end of your pitiful world, Ren. You will perish in Felfire, like 10,000 worlds before your own. And Eydren is endless!
No matter how many demons you throw at us, we will cut you down, monster!
We return to conquer this puny world and burn it to a husk! Do you see now, human? The fate of this world is sealed. The Legion cannot be stopped. And now you will fall.
Victory is ours! Hold fast! Mekator! We finish this now! Call in the gunship!
Way ahead of you, sir. Transangulating our positions right now.
Get it! Get it! My lord! Push forward! And get Windrunner's archers to clear the skies!
No, she wouldn't. I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust her!
Without the Horde, we'll be overrun! We must retreat! Get everyone to the gunship! Everyone! Fall back!
Are you Eydren?
Yes? What is it?
Commander Yorick of the 7th Legion. I'm sure you've heard of us.
An elite regiment of the finest veteran soldiers the Alliance has to offer. Of course I've heard of you. Wouldn't have applied otherwise.
Right. I've come on behalf of that application. Though it's unconventional to accept individuals like this, I've managed to pull a few strings. I saw you personally on the Broken Shore. I think you'd be a fine recruit.
I am honored that you find me worthy. I accept, of course.
Glad to hear it. We will induct you at this spot 2 days from now, at noon. Your armor seems to serve you well, so you'll keep it for now. I will need you to wear our colors, however.
Of course, sir.
Skip the formalities. I'm not your commander yet.
You know what I miss? The food in Silverman City. These orcs don't know cooking. They lack the elegance.
Wouldn't you rather eat a nice, rotting corpse?
You disgust me.
That's the point. I'll take you to Silvermoon someday. See if the food's as good as you say.
You haven't been back there since you found me. A few months after the Scourge invasion. Are you sure you want that?
It's in the past. I think it's about time to get over it.
Lynn, Roderick, in the wake of recent disasters, I have been given permission to reform our old detachment.
We had a detachment?
The one from Northrend, you half-wit?
Right. There's no need for name-calling.
I never knew you wanted this, Gredash. What's the point of it?
Garm built that unit from the ground up, only for me to destroy it. Honestly, it has been tearing at me for the last few years. I have to continue its legacy.
Will you lead it?
No, I'd only end up destroying it again. I have someone else in mind. You were a part of it. Will you join me once more?
Well, I have nothing but fond memories of it. And I've been bored out of my mind lately.
Of course we'll join.
Good to hear. Now, there's someone I need to find.
Is boredom your only motivation?
I have yet to find a decent hobby. I try to go wherever you go, but I wouldn't have accepted if he were to lead. He's a good friend, but he's not a leader. Would you have joined?
He saved me a long time ago. I owe my loyalty to him.
There's only one person that I'll always remain loyal to.
Father, I apologize for not visiting for a while. A lot has happened. I don't know what's happening. The Burning Legion is invading again. I fought them in the Third War. I know how tough and endless they are. We thought we may have stood a chance by attacking them early, but we didn't. Our armies were crushed, the king was killed, the High Lord and the Argent Crusade was destroyed. I lost my friends. Why has the light forsaken me? What have I done to deserve this punishment? I've tried fighting on, but I don't know what to do anymore. I've lost everyone I've ever cared about.
Not everyone.
Emeric, what have you become?
You look at me the same way you look at Scourge.
How are you any different from them?
I am not with the Scourge. I am with the Ebon Blade. Trust me when I say that my motives haven't changed.
Trust you? Trust a Death Knight of the Ebon Blade? The Ebon Blade attacked Light's Hope Chapel. They tried to raise the great Tyrian Forge Ring into undeath. Your allies betrayed us all.
I never knew. I was not a part of that.
No undead can be trusted. How are you different? I'm sorry, Emeric.
What are you saying?
I became a paladin to fight undeath. You won't be an exception.
I don't want to fight you.
You will die regardless.
This is madness! Come to your senses!
I don't want this, Emeric, but all undeath must be destroyed.
Please.
Please, Emeric, prove me wrong.
I'll keep fighting the Legion. Without the powers of darkness. I promise you.
Zin'tae?
I know that voice.
It's Gredash.
Sergeant Gredash, son of Cruel. It's been many years.
First Sergeant, actually. Well, used to be. I've come to make a request. The detachment is being reformed.
And you want me to lead it? Why not Garm? Has he retired?
Garm died years ago, sacrificing himself to save me. A lot has happened since you left us. Our unit was obliterated in Northrend due to my actions. We need a leader who doesn't let his personal feelings get in the way of what's best for the Horde.
Garm and I always disagreed. I came with suggestions and pleas, and he always ignored them. You could barely tell I was his second in command. I have been isolated for so long. If I could get a chance to lead the detachment my own way, I might have a good enough reason to end this isolation. I'm going to have to ask for a favor, however.
The light abandoned me. I felt the darkness embrace me as the demon pierced my chest. Yet I'm still here. Tell me, Eydren, would death have been the preferable option?
Emeric? You live?
Depends on how you define living.
How is this possible?
What's happening? Where am I?
Some would call it a cave. I call it my experimental laboratory.
How am I alive?
The ignorant would call it necromancy, but I don't deal with that. I call it simple science, or advanced science, depending on your expertise in the area.
Am I undead?
Yes, you are what they, including me, call a death knight.
No, it's impossible. I'm a paladin. I'm supposed to fight undeath.
You can still fight undeath, though you'll have a hard time finding hostile undead nowadays. I would suggest not fighting the Forsaken or the Knights of the Ebon Blade for that matter. It won't end well for you. Technically, you're not a part of the Ebon Blade as you weren't raised by them or raised at all, but no one will see a difference. I suggest saying that you're with them. People will trust you more. Besides, their colors suit you.
What do you mean I wasn't raised? Then how can I be undead?
I told you I don't deal in necromancy. I didn't raise you from the dead, I rebuilt you from the dead. Some would call it unconventional, but I am experienced enough to not mess it up. Takes plenty of effort and resources, however. I'm Tillian, by the way, thanks for asking.
I have so many questions.
I'm sure you do. I will do my best to answer them, but not at this moment. I have other things to do. I have a task for you in the meantime. There's an old elven ruin nearby. In it you will find an old friend of mine, a death knight like you. He is the one who managed to fetch your corpse from the battlefield. I want you to bring him here.
I'm starting to doubt your sanity. Why should I do as you say?
You want your questions answered, don't you? And you owe me, frankly. Furthermore, and let me be clear, if you do as I say, it could very well mean the end of the Burning Legion.
There's no more doubt. You're insane.
I'd say those reasons are sufficient enough to obey my every command. Bring me my friend and I'll answer more of your questions. There's no hurry, take what time you need. And Emeric, I urge you to embrace your new powers. You are no longer a champion of the light.
This Tillian, what do you know of him?
Only what I just told you. But I intend to find out more. That is why I will do what he tells me.
I'll gladly help you, but it will have to wait until tomorrow. I am being inducted into the 7th Legion.
The 7th Legion?
They saw me fighting on the Broken Shore, and they find me worthy. I thought this would give me purpose that I've been missing for so long, so I accepted. Does anyone else know that you're alive? Does Francis?
I had to kill him. He took a vow when he became a paladin to rid the world of undeath. Turns out I wasn't any different from the Scourge.
Stubborn until the end.
I fear his sense of reason was lost along with his friends.
Until tonight, I thought I had lost everyone I cared about. Then you proved me wrong. Are you still the same person? Can I still count on you?
I may not be exactly the same, but you can still count on me. You have my word.
We could take a Zeppelin to Stranglethorn Vale, and then walk to Silvermoon.
That's on the other end of the continent. Is that your idea of a good plan?
I don't see you coming up with any better.
There's a teleporter in the Undercity, straight to Silvermoon.
I never considered that. Hello?
This is Zin'tae. He will lead us, in exchange for a favor.
And you need our help?
No, we will go alone. I have another job for the two of you, in the Broken Isles.
Through the valleys and peaks of Mount Hyjal, across the shifting sands of Silithis, against the Legion's dread armies we have fought. We are the nameless, faceless sons and daughters of the Alliance. By the light, and by the might of the Alliance, the first strike belongs to us, and the last strike is all that our enemies see. We are 7th Legion, and we are honored to have you amongst our ranks, Private Adrien.
Thank you, sir.
You will have your orders in due time. For now, at ease.
I suppose congratulations are in order.
Thank you. It feels right.
So where were you these last few years?
Emeric, When my sister died, I felt a loneliness that I had never experienced before. Not even when my parents were killed. I hoped the grief would pass, as the years went by, but it's still as strong as ever. Until now, I've been searching for any trace of family I have left. A distant cousin, an unknown aunt or uncle. Anything would have been a comfort, but it was to no avail. You're a good friend, Emeric, and I'm glad to be back with you. But it doesn't compare to real family.
I have more family than I can name, but I never speak to any of them. Not even my parents or siblings. As far as I know, they think I'm still dead.
It's easy to take things for granted when there's no lack of it.
They're priests of the light. I doubt they'd accept what I've become. They always wanted me to become a priest, serving the light and such. But I wanted to fight, and instead of studying the holy arts, I would sneak off to watch the soldiers during training. I would try to mimic their movements. I thought that maybe I could become as skilled as them someday. A paladin spotted me one day. He showed me that I could be both a skilled fighter and a follower of the light. I could make my parents proud, as well as follow my dreams. He took me as his apprentice, and as the years went by, I became more skilled in the arts. But he started losing his connection to the light. He eventually went mad from it, and he had to be put down by those he used to serve with. For years, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to a paladin. These last few days might just top that.
You still have your sanity.
Let's hope it lasts. Come on, I have an acquaintance to find.
Who is this man that you want to find?
Years ago, I was captured by him and his men. They tortured me for information. He gouged out my eyes and finally managed to cripple my regeneration. Gom rescued me, but according to him, I was now unfit for duty. I was discharged, and as always, he ignored my pleas. May his body rot in the ground.
I may not always have agreed with him, but to me he was a mentor, a father figure. I won't let you speak ill of him.
My apologies, Gredash. I had my issues with him, but I'd be lying if I said that he wasn't the most loyal and honorable orc I ever knew. Sheathe your sword. We've arrived.
How do you know this?
I've been hunting this man for years. By now, I know his every step.
And why do you need my help?
I don't really. I only needed the transport. And it can't hurt to have a lookout. Remember me? Do you remember this? You did this to me.
No, wait, please, I didn't.
Is that it?
That's it. This sense of relief. I haven't felt such a sensation before. Thank you for agreeing to this, Gredash.
Okay. You distract him. I knock him out from behind.
What? Why? The druids are allies.
These tree huggers are no allies of mine.
Just let me handle this.
Greetings, Blood Elf. Aberration.
I hate you too.
Greetings, honored druid.
Step aside, whelp. I am the Grand Druid Archlord, and I demand to be let inside.
There's no such title. Get lost.
Very well, then. I demand to speak to your leader.
You mean Archdruid Malfurion Stormrage? First of the Druids and Lord of the Night Elves?
Yes, that guy.
Get lost.
Excuse my fool for a companion. We only wish to speak with someone.
What? No. I want to see the Druid Sacred Sanctuary.
That's not what we're here for.
Maybe that's what I'm here for.
Why must you always argue with me?
What do you mean?
It's like you enjoy arguing.
You're
That's
the
such
one
a
who
weird
always
thing to
argues.
like. For once, you could have
Why
let me
can
handle
we
the
never do
situation.
what I
We
What's
always
all
do
this
what you want.
commotion? You're interrupting my lunch. I missed you both. It's been too long. What brings you here?
Great. You deal with them. I got enough of a headache already.
It's good to see you too. We come on behalf of Gredash. He's reforming our old detachment from Northrend. It wouldn't be the same without you, Nosh.
Honestly, it's about time. I knew this day would happen. I didn't think it would take this long, though. Regardless, of course I will join you, Lyn. The druids here treat me well, and I have learned a lot, but life here has grown rather dull in comparison. In fact, I may be able to provide more assistance than that. I am aware of the whereabouts of a few, let's call them old acquaintances, survivors from our unit in Northrend. They've been waiting for a chance to fight again. I propose we go there. Ask them to come with us. However, there is one more very important matter that I must tend to first. My lunch. It's getting cold.
Let us grant them a moment of silence.
There, moment over.
I met those two during the war against the Lich King.
My condolences.
They scammed me.
Good riddance, then.
It's for the best. He's a warlock. He might as well have been working with the Legion.
You're a warlock, too.
Yeah. It's too bad they can't all be as trustworthy and handsome as me.
Right. Come on, let's keep going.
I saw you on the Broken Shore. You were a paladin, correct? The light hasn't abandoned you yet. There's still ways to serve it. Trust me. Don't give up on it.
By my undead beard, he actually did it!
Excuse me?
Eliott, he actually recreated you.
I assume you're the one I'm searching for. He asked me to find another Death Knight.
Seltrim, at your service. Gods, I have so many questions to ask you.
You go on to Tilion without me. I have to meet with the 7th. Be careful, Emeric. We don't know if we can trust him.
I was so eager for you to meet. It'll have to wait, and so will your questions, dwarf. I have some questions for Tilion that need answering.
Lead the way. And maybe we'll find something to fight on the way. It's been too long.
Tilion, I want answers.
I assume that you've brought my trusty helper.
I'm not your helper, Tilion. If anything, you're my helper.
Some would disagree, doesn't matter. I'll answer some of your questions.
Why did you bring me back?
I wanted to see if I could. You were my first, Emeric, professionally speaking. Honestly, it was a gamble. And besides, a former paladin turned Death Knight? That's a tragedy never seen before. Actually, forget what I said.
So what would have happened if you couldn't?
You would still be dead and nothing else would be different.
But why me? A lot of soldiers died on the broken shore.
You'd have to ask Seltrim. I only asked him to bring me a corpse. As always, he did what I told him. I believe he has some personal connection to you. You'd have to ask him for details.
I'm right here, you know.
Sorry, you're short. I didn't see you.
Part of me wishes that you hadn't brought me back. I had to kill a very good friend and mentor.
We've all done bad things, some worse than others. The key is to get over it and get on with your life.
Have you ever done such a thing?
Enough with the questions. I have another task for you.
That wasn't a lot of questions.
Complete this task and I'll answer all of your questions. You have my word. Remember when I told you that we could bring an end to the Legion?
Of course. That was when I realized you were insane.
I agree that it's a long shot, but if we all just believe in ourselves... Forget it, just trust me. On to the task, the armies of Legion fall. Perhaps you've heard of them. An organization of orders from all over the world are planning an all-out assault on the burning Legion upon the broken shore. I want you to be there.
I assume there's more?
Their dread commander, Argonoth, will be there. On him is an artifact of great power. I need you to bring this artifact to me. Some would be afraid of facing him. Not to worry, though. You'll have the might of the Order Halls by your side.
The broken shore was a disaster last time. I don't think anything good can come of this.
It was a disaster because it had disastrous planning. It's different this time. I know this. Trust me. Good. It's still some time before then. Now, I suspect you have questions for Seltrim over here, but that's not why I wanted you to bring him. Rather, I've tasked him to help you hone your new undead powers.
I don't need the powers of darkness. I have a sword. That's sufficient.
You underestimate the power of darkness, Emeric.
The light is my shield. Always has been.
This is giving me a headache. Seltrim, get him out of here and convince him however you see fit. One more thing. When you have the artifact for me, I want you to bring your friend Eydren.
Come on, Gredash. We should go.
Gredash. We need to get going.
You know, since you killed that man, I've been thinking. I've been mercilessly fighting the Alliance ever since my home was destroyed, to no satisfaction. I've realized that I must hunt down the ones responsible. Only then will I have my vengeance.
We are of the same mind. Give me time, and I can find out who did it.
Boats really are the best form of transportation. Wouldn't you agree, Lynn?
I prefer flying.
You're wrong. Flying is terrible.
My opinion can't be wrong, Roderick.
You'd be surprised how often your opinions are wrong.
We're here.
Nosh, welcome.
It's good to see you, Crux. Without further ado, our detachment from Northrend is being reformed. I know that you and your group love a good fight. Rejoin our reformed unit, and you will be provided with more battles than you can imagine.
Yes! Rock smash! Come, friends! Kill!
That was easy.
Believe it or not, they have been waiting for this day. I'll help them prepare to move, then we'll leave to meet with Gredash. It'll be good to see him again.
Take your time. Meanwhile, I'll explain to Lynn why she's always wrong.
Please hurry, Nosh.
Do you want to keep training?
You've taught me enough. Against my wishes, frankly.
But we've barely scratched the surface. I want to teach you how to summon the undead.
You want me to create what I once sought to destroy? I'm sorry, but that won't happen.
To use your powers to their full extent, you need to embrace what you've become.
I had to kill my friend because of what I had become. I promised him not to use the powers of death and darkness. But I also promised to keep fighting the Legion. That's why I'm doing what Tillian says.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to prepare you. You don't fight and kill regularly. As a Death Knight, you'll be suffering an immense agony.
Great. I was just thinking this couldn't get better. Why don't you raise an ally yourself?
More allies means less fighting for me. Wouldn't want that.
Sounds like I'm doing you a favor by refusing. Why did you bring me back, Seltrim? Why me?
The truth is, I wanted to speak to you, Emeric. You knew my brother, Joram.
It's been years since I last heard that name.
I was there when we assaulted Icecrown Citadel. I saw you by his corpse. I planned to make contact with you after the battle, but I never found you. For years I've been searching for you. Tell me, what happened to his body?
A few Crusaders were willing to bury him at my request. I made sure he had a worthy funeral.
That's good. He deserved a proper burial. Perhaps you could take me to his grave someday. I never got to say my farewells.
Of course. Though we went through the forest you died in. Joram said the Scourge hadn't raised anyone.
He must not have searched fully. The truth is, some of us were raised in that forest. Years later, I participated in the assault on New Avalon. Not long after that, I was freed from the Lich King's control, and the Knights of the Ebon Blade was formed. I've been fighting for them ever since. How did he die, Emeric?
He died a hero. He saved me, but he was taken by the Scourge in the process. I killed him before he was fully under their control, as an act of mercy.
I thank you, Emeric. Being under the Lich King's control is not something I would wish upon anyone.
I lost family to the Scourge as well. Your brother was a good person. I'm sorry. I lost my sister, Luna.
How did it happen?
A ghoul knocked her out when we ran from the Lich King. She was knocked out in a preceding battle. She was still weak. Her body couldn't handle it. Our parents were killed many years ago. She was the only family I had left. The war lasted many months. A lot of atrocities happened.
For years I told everyone it lasted only a few weeks.
You never did have a good memory, and I can't imagine death did you any favors either. You know, for as long as I can remember, I've been terrified of death. That's why I learned to fight, to defend myself. I have my ideas about it, wisps and all that. But what it's actually like, and the transition of it, not much is known. Tell me, what was it like to die?
I'm sorry, I have no recollection of it. I can't remember either joy or suffering. It's just a gap in my memory.
It's probably for the best. An assault on the broken shore is coming. I will be there with a handful of soldiers from the 7th Legion.
We'll be there as well.
Then you'd best prepare. It's not long now.
Campfires haven't been the same since I died.
Is that so?
It's one thing I'll always miss.
Nosh, why did you choose to go back to the Druids?
I have traveled many paths in my life, Lyn. This is the first one that I'm actually successful at. I could never call upon the elements as a shaman, nor the spirits as a spirit walker. I can fight with blunt force, but for a Tauren, that's nothing special. Though I had no interest in the druidic arts when I was a young man, I have grown content with my choice. I have also been able to read a lot about the history of our world. Did you know that the sun and the moon are believed to be the eyes of our deity, the Earth Mother? Fascinating. I also read that it was several months before the Forsaken were freed from the Lich King. But you told me that Roderick found you only after a few days.
I was never very good at telling stories.
That's right. I was always superior at it.
Yes, you were.
Oh. Okay.
Crocs. Rotek. Nosh! Haha! My old friend. It's been too long.
It is good to see you, Gredash. I've brought some old friends.
I am grateful. They will be of use. The unit has already received its first assignment. The assault on the broken shore is drawing near, and will be there. Zin'tae, you are now officially in charge. I trust that you will lead us well.
He's a grumpy one, isn't he?
He is a good leader. I trust him. He is also helping me find whoever killed my family.
I thought you were past that.
Zin'tae told me of the relief he felt when he had his revenge. I have to kill the ones responsible. Only then will my thirst for vengeance be quenched.
Be careful, Gredash. This may very well end in misery and pain.
I'll be careful. You have my word. Now get everyone ready. We have a glorious battle ahead of us.
Our first battle is upon us. The forces of Azeroth have united to take the fight to the Burning Legion. The armies of Legion Fall are marching on the broken shore, and we will stand beside them. Despite our numbers, we will show them that we are more than capable of holding our ground. That we are more than worthy of fighting alongside the greatest heroes of Azeroth. In honor of Garm and all those who died fighting the Scourge, fight well.
You have your orders. Move out.
Took you long enough?
Hard to find transport.
First team, with me. Crocs, you're in charge of the second team. I need you to cover our flank.
Rock smash!
Crocs, no!
Don't worry. There are still 13 of us left. There are still 12 of us left. Lead on. So, you finally know my pain. You can become a bear? I want to become a bear.
As far as I know, no Forsaken Druid has ever existed. But with enough time and patience, if you're willing to work for it, you and I could maybe make history.
That's a lot of work. Never mind.
Break them!
Take down Dread Commander Arcana! We will deal with the rest!
That's him! He has the artifact!
I will flay the flesh from your bones! The Master will mend my flesh again and again. You have not won. You cannot win. We are endless. We are Legion. I will return.
Sadly, our fight is over. The rest is up to the champions of Azeroth.
Let's find this artifact. I think this is it. It has to be.
Yes, trinkets! Give them to me!
No! I don't know what came over me. Seltrim, will you teach me to raise the undead?
I thought you said...
To hell with what I said. I realize now that there can be no light without darkness. From now on, I will be the darkness that brings forth the light.
Emeric, just don't let darkness overcome you. Please, control your emotions. I have to report to Commander Yorick. I'll be back soon.
I got 18.
20.
The big demons only count as one, you know.
I am aware.
We have suffered minimal losses. It's only a matter of time before the unit is back to size. Thank you, Gredash, for giving me this chance.
I don't trust him, Gredash. I fear he might be putting ideas in your head.
I am more than capable of thinking for myself, Nosh. I've promised you to be cautious, and I will be.
I see you survived the battle. Did you bring Eydren? Let's talk about this, Adrien. Some would say I deserved that.
What are you doing?
Emeric, this is the man who killed my parents.
If you give me time to explain, you'll realize why I brought you here.
I should kill you right now. Speak!
I trust that you brought the artifact. I am sorry, Emeric. I've been lying to you. This artifact won't stop the Legion. I wanted it for more personal reasons. Adrien, I fought in the War of the Ancients 10,000 years ago on the side of the demons. Your parents were unsung heroes of the war. They killed many, demons and highborn alike. Many of those highborn were my friends that I had known since birth. They were all I had, and your parents took them away from me. And so I swore to avenge them. When the Sundering happened, most of the highborn were sent to the bottom of the sea, but I managed to avoid it. That's when I started plotting my revenge. For countless years I plotted. Some would call it holding a grudge, I would call it being patient and committed. I eventually managed to befriend your parents, and over the years I earned their trust. When many years had passed, I finally struck. They died instantly with no pain. I had finally done it. I had taken the revenge that I had waited such a long time for. But it was not long until I started feeling regret. I had spent many years with them, befriending them, raising their children. They were no longer targets, but actual friends. Something I had been missing for so long. When I realized this, it was too late. I couldn't bring them back. Adrien, this artifact is nothing but a powerless memento. It belonged to your parents. I want you to have it as a plea for forgiveness.
Is that it? Is that your atonement?
I know that it's not enough. I didn't leave your parents on the ground. I gave them a proper burial. I can give you the location of their graves should you wish to visit them. Also, I heard what happened to Luna. I am very sorry.
You don't actually care, do you?
I raised you both. Of course I care.
You've become very trusting. What happened to the Eydren I met in Stormwind all those years ago?
He lost everything worth protecting.
Why would their dread commander carry that around?
Some would call it a war trophy. Honestly, I was lucky he still had it.
Could you not bring his parents back, like you brought me back?
I would have if I knew how at the time. There's not much left of them now, I'm afraid. I've been studying death ever since to try to prevent it in the future. I did ask Seltrim to bring your corpse specifically due to your connection to Eydren. Fortunately, the dwarf wanted to speak to you as well. I think he would have refused otherwise. I'm sorry for lying, Emeric. I hope you can understand.
Lying to me is nothing compared to what you did to Eydren.
I know. Honestly, I expected him to kill me. Hopefully, he'll come around and forgive me eventually. 1,000 thanks for what you've done, Emeric.
How did you go blind?
Torture.
How can you see?
Magic.
Stop pestering him with questions, Roderick.
Asking questions is how you learn. That's why I'm so much smarter than you. Now.
At least I'm not dead.
Uncalled for.
I have information on who killed your family.
Yes, of course. I remember now. Thank you, Zin'tae. I know what must be done.
I'm sorry I haven't visited until now, but I never knew where you were.
Eydren.
Luna? How is this possible? How can you be here?
I think you know the answer to that.
Luna, I've missed you so much. I've searched for any remaining family, but all I found is the graves of our parents, which only served as a reminder.
You haven't lost everyone. Emeric is still here. He cares about you as if you were family.
You're right. I couldn't ask for a better friend.
Cherish that friendship. You never know how long it'll last.
I've felt such guilt since Northrend. I know that I could have protected you.
Don't blame yourself. There was nothing you could do. You need to forgive yourself, Eydren.
Eydren.
It's been a while, Gredash.
We've fought a lot, you and I. With each other and against.
What will it be this time?
I know who you serve.
Let him live. Let him tell his friends what happens when you interfere with the 7th Legion.
Your commander destroyed my home, killed my family.
I did not take part in that.
By fighting for him, you commend his actions. All who serve him will die. Take me to him, and I'll make your death swift and painless.
I can't do that.
Then you give me no choice. I will find him myself.
I won't hold back.
You will all die by my hand!
Have you seen Gredash? I'll look for him.
I know the pain of losing loved ones all too well. I do not commend the actions of those who killed your family. I only condemn them.
You are more honorable than I thought. Tell me, will I be remembered with honor?
That's not for me to decide. But you have loyal followers. They won't speak ill of you.
Gredash. What have you done?
No, Nosh. Let him go. I was the aggressor. It's no use, Lyn. It's too deep. Nosh, I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you till the end.
We will meet again in the next life, old friend.
I'll finally see my family again.
Zin'tae, you put him on this path of vengeance. This is your doing.
His own choices led him to this fate. I only did what he asked of me. And besides, now I know he won't try to retake leadership from me.
Gredash is dead. I respected him as an opponent.
Though many of his actions were less than honorable.
We've all done bad things. As long as you try to make up for it.
Is that why you spared Tilion? I don't get it. You've been hunting him for years, and just like that you're ready to forgive him? He lied to me, I would have let you kill him.
There was no doubt in his regret. He really wants to atone for what he did. Regardless, he practically raised me and Luna. He's the closest thing to family I have left.
Tilion is not his real name, is it?
No, it's not.
How are you doing, Lynn?
I felt so useless when he died. If only I knew how to really handle the light. I know I could have saved him. I have to practice. Focus on the arts of healing and mending. Maybe then I won't feel so useless.
You're not useless. If this is something you want, I'll support you, however I can.
Thank you.
You did it!
For better or worse, I've broken my promise to Francis many times over. I hope he's not watching.
Well, if he is, you can apologize when you're dead. Until then, these powers will help you keep your second promise.
I suppose I should name it.
Okay, do it.
You're getting better.
What is happening?
I believe that this war lies beyond our world.